Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here. We're going to talk all about El Nino. It is officially here. A new sheriff is in town. I'll talk about what I expect with it coming up, but this is the bottom line. These are the latest sea surface temperatures. That's the equator. You can see it. The red colors represent warmer than normal water. It has replaced colder than normal water, which we had for 3 straight winters. We called that the triple dip La Nina. And it was a big one for a generation. Of course, we had all of that record snow this winter. Well, now this is what we're going to deal with moving ahead. So let me jump into it. What is it all about? What does it mean? So we had the La Nina. It's gone. We had incredible amounts of snow. Mammoth had 705, an all-time record at the base. At the summit, almost 900. Alta at 877, an all-time record. That's 73 feet of snow. Well, now that's gone, and here's what we're looking at as far as a forecast. The red bars represent an El Nino-driven forecast, and as you can see, and I'll take this full, there is no end in sight to this. El Nino is going to be the dominant factor driving the weather pattern across the West, in particular in North America, through the summer, the fall, and likely the winter. You can see it, December, January, February, March. It's all red bar, and it's like 90% likelihood according to NOAA at this point. We've already seen some of the effects of this already across parts of the Southern Rockies with all of this heavy precipitation. And let me just show you. Over the last 30 to 35 days, we've seen an incredible amount of rain, like 150 to 400% of normal, so wetter than normal, across a large sector of Colorado, New Mexico, parts of Arizona, and Southern California. That is likely a foreshadowing of what we're going to see for this upcoming winter, if the pattern holds. And I'm going to go into much more depth, range by range, mountain range by mountain range, and state by state in the coming months as to what I expect and how this is going to play out, so you can plan your skiing and your planned vacations. But this is what we're seeing, and probably a foreshadowing of what is to come. All right, so back to this. There are the sea surface temperatures. We talked about it, warmer than normal already. There are some indications in some of the data that this could end up being a strong El Nino. So not just an El Nino, but a strong one, meaning it's going to be, an anomalously strong one with even warmer than normal sea surface temperatures, exceeding what we're seeing right now. That's where we've been. And this is where we're headed. You can already see the warmer temperatures starting to take over, now meeting the criteria, and that's why we have an El Nino. The model forecasts, we've been in La Nina now for 3 years. You can see they're all driving us up into warmer than normal water, which is exactly what's happening. This is the forecast going ahead, going forward. Most of the forecast models, and I'll take this full so you can see exactly what they're forecasting here. Pretty much all of them, the most important ones that we consider, all take us into El Nino category and leave us there for a long time. There are some on the outer fence that take us into that stronger than normal El Nino category. So that is a possibility, but you can see, playing it right down the middle, there's no question we're going to be in El Nino for quite some time. So let's talk about potential impacts here. This is the pattern you would typically expect with an El Nino. And again, we're already seeing some of this happen with a stronger than normal subtropical jet stream coming off the Pacific, escorting in extra moisture, storm system after storm system, areas of low pressure, and inundating parts of the Southern Rockies with wetter than normal conditions. And we're seeing that play out right now. And then this pattern would be the case for most of next winter if things hold. Now, there are a couple of important buts to mention in this. And let's go back to this, because one of them happens to be the monsoon season, which is yet to come. You can take a look at this if you want to. But now, as far as the Indian monsoon, if you were looking at the continent, or the continent of India, what it typically does is, you can see what happens. In an El Nino, it tends to disrupt the Indian monsoon, and it tends to be drier than normal. That's a possibility. It doesn't happen every time. And actually, when you look at the North American monsoon across the West and the desert Southwest, it can disrupt it as well. El Nino might lead to below normal precip July, August across the West. It could disrupt it, just like it does in India. So that's a possibility. It may end up being a little bit drier across the west, which would not be good, because that could potentially mean that we dry out and wildfires would become more of a factor heading into fall right before winter. There are your impacts. We'll go back to that, and we'll end on this. Again, this is what we're seeing right now happen with a powerful subtropical jet. We could have the monsoon season be disrupted, but then by next winter, this pattern may reestablish itself. All right, guys, again, in the coming months, I'll drill down more and talk more about what I'm expecting as far as at the ski areas in the backcountry of the West. But right now, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in here. Always appreciate it.